Last time Seth Rollins stood in Paris, he was the World Heavyweight Champion. Monday night, he walked back into that same city without the belt and somehow left looking more dangerous than the man who actually has it. Roman wasn't in that building, and Rollins spent the whole night making him pay for that. What's up, WWE Galaxy family? Nova here, and let's get right into it. Seth Rollins in Paris on Monday night, one backstage interview that was supposed to be 30 seconds about the King of the Ring. Instead, he used it to go directly at Roman Reigns, the man carrying the title Rollins says was never actually taken from him. We're breaking down exactly what he said, why Paris was the right city to say it, and why Roman being absent that night was the only reason Rollins walked out of there looking that good. Like the video, subscribe, let's go. Jackie Redmond caught Rollins backstage after his Coder match. Standard post-win interview. Should have been 30 seconds about moving forward in the tournament. Rollins had other plans. He looked around, genuinely taking in being back in Paris, and reminded everyone that last time he was in this city, he was World Heavyweight Champion, leader of the Vision. Everything was pointed in his direction. He said the Vision was the future then. Right now, the future has one name, King Rollins, and a World Heavyweight Championship he says has never actually left him. That last part is where it gets real. Rollins didn't lose that title in the traditional sense. WrestleMania 42, he had Roman right where he needed him, match in hand. And then Bron Breakker showed up, threw a spear, and suddenly Roman was champion. Rollins has been sitting on that for months, never truly beaten, just blindsided by someone who had no business being in that moment. Paris is where he finally said it out loud. He looked into that camera and told the world Roman Reigns has never beaten him when it truly mattered. Said the championship Roman is walking around with belongs to the Visionary. No yelling, no big dramatic moment, just a man saying what he believes out loud. No performance attached to it, and that calm is what makes it dangerous. Because you can laugh off a fired-up wrestler. You can't laugh off a man who sounds like he's simply telling the truth. Here's why Rollins saying all of that in Paris specifically means more than it would anywhere else. 2022 Royal Rumble. Roman Reigns defending the title against Seth Rollins in a match that had everything on the line. Rollins walked out to the Shields music, came through the crowd, put on the tactical vest. He got inside Roman's head before the bell even rang and never left. Roman couldn't put him away. The most dominant champion of his generation, the man who beats everyone, eventually could not finish Seth Rollins. So he grabbed a steel chair and disqualified himself rather than risk losing clean. That match happened. Roman needed a chair because he couldn't finish it with his hands. Nobody has forgotten that, especially not Rollins. And now Rollins is standing in Paris, a city that still remembers him as champion, pointing at a belt he says was taken from him by someone else entirely, reminding Roman of the one fight he walked away from rather than win. That's not just a challenge for a title match. That's a specific conversation about a specific pattern, and Roman has no clean answer to it. So would Roman Reigns have destroyed Seth Rollins if he'd been in Paris? Honestly, yes. Not because Rollins is wrong. The argument about the championship is legitimate. The Royal Rumble history is real. None of that disappears. But Roman Reigns in that building changes everything about how Monday night plays out. Roman doesn't send people to deliver messages. When something disrespects him at that level publicly on WWE television, in a city where he's supposed to be the dominant presence, he shows up himself. He finds the room. He walks through the door. And that conversation stops being a backstage interview and becomes something completely different. Rollins said everything he said on Monday because he knew he could. He knew Roman wasn't there. He calculated the whole thing, said what he needed to say in the city where it would hit hardest, on the one night where the one man who could shut it down was somewhere else entirely. That's not weakness. That's Rollins being exactly as smart as he's always been. But it's also only possible because Roman wasn't in that building. Roman comes back June 15th in Baltimore, and he's walking back into a Raw where Rollins called his championship illegitimate on international television, where LA Knight told a Paris crowd his whole operation is crumbling, where people said things to a camera they would never say to his face. He promised after WrestleMania he was done being part-time, done showing up whenever it suited him. Then June came. Paris happened, and the whole roster treated his absence like an invitation. Baltimore is going to tell us something real about where Roman Reigns actually is right now. Whether he walks in and immediately makes clear what it costs to talk like that when he's not around, or whether 1 week away from television opened a door that's harder to close than he expects. Roman knows exactly who talked while he was gone. He knows what Rollins said. He knows what Knight said. He comes back to Baltimore carrying all of that. That's not a comfortable return. That's a man walking back into his own house and finding out who made themselves comfortable while he was away. Rollins won Paris. The question is what Roman does with Baltimore. Drop your prediction in the comments. Like the video. Subscribe to WWE Galaxy. I'm Nova. See you next week.